This is the first video of a series of modules that will explain how to use Deducer, which is a graphical user interface for the program R, to conduct your statistical analyses. R is a really powerful statistical program, but for those who've never coded before, it can be quite challenging. What Deducer does is it creates a graphical user interface, or a GUI, for R users that simplify a lot of the coding that you would otherwise need to learn. This first module will go over how to download and install these programs onto your computer so that you can use them in the subsequent exercises. So let's begin. The first step is to open up your internet browser and go to www.deducer.org. Okay, and then click on Download and Install in the middle of the screen here. And there are three different options for different operating environments. This computer that I'm working on is a Windows machine, so I'm going to click on Windows. And then I'm going to click on Download Installer. So a few things I want to say while we're waiting for this installer to download. One is that all the instructions in this video are in written form posted on the class website. So if that's easier or faster for you, please follow the instructions there. The other is that Deducer will require Java to run on your machine. So if you don't have Java, you're going to need to install that first. So it looks like the installer is complete. So I'm going to click on that and hit Run. Want English. I'm going to click Next, Next, Next. It's telling me where it wants to install R, which is basically the statistical engine that Deducer is going to run through. Okay, R already exists on this machine, so this prompt comes up. This should not come up when you're installing R on your computer. I'm going to hit Yes. I'm going to hit Next. One thing I do want to point out is that if you're on a Windows machine and you're using the installer, then Java is included in this package. So this package should have everything that you need. I do not want to customize the installation. And I'm just going to keep clicking Next. I'm going to leave Create a Desktop icon checked. I don't really want a quick launch icon. And that's that. I do want to point out, while we're waiting for this to install, that there are instructions for existing R users in the background here on the Chrome page where we downloaded the installer. So for those of you with R already on your machine, you should feel free to update R first and then install the correct packages in order to run Deducer. Okay, it says a Java runtime environment has been found. That's because Deducer's been on this computer before. This should not come up for if you're installing this for the first time. So it looks like it's completed. What I'm going to do is minimize this for now and then go to the Deducer shortcut. So this is what it looks like on the screen here. I'm going to double click that. And I see two windows pop up here. So one's called the console and one's called the data viewer. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is select Packages and Data and then go to Package Manager. And the reason why I want to do that is because I want to select the checkboxes next to Deducer Extras. Again, what I did was I went to Packages and Data. I selected Package Manager. Okay, and I selected the checkboxes under the columns Default and Loaded, so both checkboxes, next to Deducer Extras. And what that's going to do is create a whole nother menu for us that offers statistical tests and options that we didn't have before. So we're going to be using those in the exercises, so it's a good idea to just include that right now. So believe it or not, that's it. Now you have Deducer and R both running on your computer. So now that we've installed R and Deducer, let's try to open up the class data and see what it looks like. So not shown here, but I've gone to the class website and downloaded this Excel spreadsheet called mock class data and saved it to my desktop. So what I want to do now is click on the Open Data icon in the Data Viewer window on the right-hand side of the screen here, and then navigate towards the desktop or wherever you saved mock class data and hit Open. And there's only one worksheet here with data, so I'm just going to hit OK. And here we go. So the data has been loaded. There should be 50 rows. Good. It's always good to check your data and look across it to make sure everything's been loaded correctly. And so just scrolling both left and right and up and down, I see that everything's been loaded. And you're essentially ready to go at this point. So a few things I want to point out before you jump into the exercises. There are two tabs here, Data View and Variable View. Data View is the spreadsheet view. It's almost like you're looking at an Excel spreadsheet or something like that. You can directly change data here by clicking on random cells. So please be very, very careful that you don't do that. Okay, I was just demonstrating that by selecting random cells and hitting numbers. In Variable View, in this tab, we see a list of all the variables in the data set, as well as their type. So variable types can range between a few things. So you can have character variables, which are otherwise known as strings. So letters, essentially. Or the convention actually is to keep all variables that you don't plan on doing any math on as character variables. So things like zip codes or reference numbers, things like that you don't want to do math on. Even if they're numbers, you generally want to make them character variables just to prevent any mistakes from happening. Now, things like age, where you might want to take the average of it in your data set, you can keep those as a numeric variable. Okay, and the numeric variables here are double and integer. Factor is R's way of describing a categorical variable. And you'll also notice that there are different options for date and time variables. Okay. You can have multiple data sets open at the same time, and the way to navigate between them is to click on the drop down underneath data set in the center here, and I only have one data set open, so only one drops down here, but you can imagine having 2 or 3 open. And that's essentially the data viewer window. The console window is where you're going to have more of your meaty statistical options. So the tabs that we're going to be using in our exercises are the Data tab, the Analysis tab, the Plots tab, and the Extras tab. Okay, so these 4 tabs are going to have 95% of everything that we're interested in. One last thing I want to note before ending the video is that sometimes you might have an issue importing an Excel file the first time that you run Deducer. And if that's the case, there's a little trick. So for Windows users, what you can do is type in a certain command. So that is, and I'll show you here, type in install.packages and then open parentheses, double quote XL connect, double quote, close parentheses. So if you hit that, this crayon mirror will come up. Just select USA and then the state that you're closest to, or really wherever in the world you're closest to, and hit OK to download and install that package. And that package is going to help you import Excel files. Okay, if you're on a Mac and you experience the same problem, it's similar code, but it's a little more involved. So you want to basically do the same thing. Type in install.packages, open parentheses, double quote, lowercase r, and then Java, and then close, and then double quotes, close parentheses. So run that, hit enter. I'm not going to do it here. And then one more. So do install.packages again, and then open parentheses, double quote, XL connect, like we did before, except this time you're also going to put in comma space type equals open quote source and close quote, close parentheses. So, and hit enter. Okay, so that should install this package that you need to import Excel files. Now, if your R is up to date and your Deducer is up to date and you're using the most up to date packages for everything, this should not be a problem, but this is something that commonly happens, so I just wanted to show this in the video just in case. Okay, so that wraps up the downloaded installation video. Hope that was helpful.